In this how-to video, we're going to review the user interface. I've started by opening up an assembly. This particular design is inside the Fusion Training Project. This is one of a number of projects that I have available. Here we see the list of all the projects that I've created. Let's go back and close that down. To start our review of the user interface, we're going to look at the application bar. Here we see a number of options from New Design down to Share, where we can send stuff to the Fusion 360 gallery, for example. We can save our file, undo, and redo. On the Profile and Help, you can see my name and also Preferences. I'm often asked how we change the units in Fusion 360, and this is where you would do that. Click on Design, and the design units in this case are millimeters. We can change those to centimeters, inches, feet. Under Help, you can access some great videos under Learn Fusion 360. Check out the product roadmap. The View Cube allows you to rotate the assembly. View the front face, and then rotate to see the right face. Click Home to go back to the isometric view. In this example, I have both an assembly and a part open. You can have multiple tabs open with different files. On the toolbar, in the model workspace, we see the tools available. For example, under Create, New Component, Box, Cylinder, Extrude. Now, if you're using something a lot, you can actually add that up onto the toolbar. You can see Extrude has now been added there. Under Modify, Press Pull, Fillet, all the way down to Combine. Now, as you add these items to the toolbar, you can also remove them. So, for example, if I go back to Extrude, I can simply remove that. Right-clicking in the Graphics window displays the Marking menu. This contains many used tools, and also all of the tools available on the toolbar: Create, Modify, Assemble. I mentioned the model workspace. There are a number of workspaces: Patch, Render, Animation, Simulation, and Cam. Let's have a look at Render. When you go into the Render workspace, you immediately see a rendered image of your design. There are a number of tools available on the toolbar to set this up, and we see some images already created. Let's have a look at one of them. This was actually rendered on the cloud, so your computer doesn't have to do any work. You simply send it out to the cloud, and that rendering is completed. Back in the model workspace, we see the browser. Here we see a couple of joints that were used to create the assembly, and the components that were used. Towards the bottom of the screen, we see a comments area. Here I can just write in a comment. Let's just put in making a video. I can capture the screen image of my assembly, and I can then post that. In this case, I'll just cancel and close down the comments window. Below the comments window, we see the timeline. These are all the actions that have been taken to create this particular assembly. Let's go back to our part and have a look at how we can use the timeline. I'm going to drag that all the way back to the beginning. That's where it's empty. And play that back. Now we can see how this part was modeled. This can be extremely useful as you check someone else's work. I can drag this marker to the end or use the tools available on the left. If I want to edit any of the actions, right-click and edit that feature. Here I can input new values or drag them dynamically. Click Cancel to close that. At the bottom of the screen, we see the navigation and display tools, such as Orbit. Back to the home view. Beside Orbit, we have Pan, Zoom, a zoom window. Under Display Settings, Visual Style, and control the display of the grid.